Not only now, but for centuries. From the earliest days of injustice to the battles we continue to fight today, women have always stood up. The more the patriarchy and its power structures try to push us down, the more we rise. Welcome to the last episode of our series, Gendering Conflict, War on Women and Others. In this episode, we'll talk about how women can be partners and emissaries to end gender-based violence in conflict zones and how they fight back. Globally, women in conflict and war-torn zones endure systematic violence, with sexual violence employed as a weapon of war. This sexual violence often escalates during the heightened levels of conflict and conflagration. According to the United Nations, around the world, there were 3,688 reported cases of conflict-related sexual violence in 2023 alone, a staggering 50% increase from the year before. And that's just what's reported. Across the world, over 170 armed conflicts were recorded in the year 2023. An estimated 612 million women and girls now live within 50 kilometers of these conflicts. That's also a 50% increase compared to just 10 years ago. The numbers are shocking, but they are more than numbers. They are lives. They are half widows of Kashmir. There are voices rising from Manipur. There are voices rising from Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo. There are lives from occupied Palestine. They are voices rising from Balochistan, Afghanistan, Yemen, Sudan, Gaza, and many other conflict regions, and they still fight back. But here's the question. How often are women allowed to lead and be part of decision and policy making to end gender-based violence in conflict zones? And how often are they made emissaries and partners in peace and resolution? So, when it comes to peace deals, peace processes, and negotiations, the women's representation is pretty nominal, almost negligible really. Quote, despite their critical roles, women continue to be largely excluded from peace processes. According to the new global data collected by UN Women through the Women in Peace Processes Monitor, in 2023, women made up only 9.6% of negotiators, 13.7% of mediators, and 26.6% of signatories to the peace and ceasefire agreements, unquote, mentions the UN website. Even though research and studies indicate that peace deals with women signatories have higher rates of implementation, women are largely excluded. For instance, this study examined several cases and provided preliminary evidence that post-conflict peace is more durable when women participate directly in negotiations. Quote, gender inequality is a strong predictor of armed conflict, which suggests that there is a connection between women's security, the political participation of women, and durable peace. Gender equality is a strong indicator of a state's peacefulness, and gender inequality a strong predictor of civil war onset, unquote, says the same study. If we want peace that lasts, real peace rooted in justice, women must be included, not as victims, but as negotiators. Not only as survivors, but as decision makers. Since 2010, UN Women has deployed over 175 gender experts to nearly every UN-mandated human rights investigation. These include legal advisors, forensic specialists, and investigators working to document sexual and gender-based violence. Even though the UN and other global human rights organizations and feminist organizations are working hard to elevate women, there are still many setbacks they face. It's often the case that patriarchal system holds the utmost power in these situations. Despite being excluded from most formal peace efforts, women continue to play key roles in local peace building. Take Yemen, for example, where women negotiated for civilian access to water, an essential resource in times of conflict. Or Sudan, In 2023 in Sudan, more than 49 women-led organizations united to form Peace for Sudan platform. Their mission? To ensure more inclusive peace processes where women and other communities are included and respected. Quote, because gender inequality is now understood as one of the drivers of fragility, conflict and violence, it is important to close gender gaps and create better programs for women and girls to make societies more resilient against FCV, unquote, says Diana J. Arango, World Bank Global Lead. We need to see more women directly involved in peace deals and policy making to tackle gendered violence. It is highly important to see women in leadership roles such as heads of states and peacekeeping bodies such as UN. This way, women can better understand the issues that affect them and can act as emissaries to create long-lasting peace and agreements. This work is crucial, not only for justice but for memory, for history. Because without women's voices, peace processes are incomplete. When women are at the table, the agreements last longer. When women lead, communities rebuild faster. When women speak, healing begins. Phulan Devi, Parveena Ahangar, Iram Sharmila, and countless others, named and unnamed, who have stood tall in the face of unimaginable horror and odds. Their stories remind us that resistance can take many forms. And no matter what, how it looks like, one thing remains true: women fight back, and the world is better for it.